2022 NFL Week 8 picks, Week 7 pick results, and UFC 280 pick results. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Callous Mind Talking Head Sportscast. The World Series participants have been decided. The Raiders get a much-needed win. The Chiefs outlast the 49ers, and the Cardinals get a critical win at home on Thursday Night Football. And there's a new UFC lightweight champion. Now, I anticipate this video going longer than usual, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave timestamps both in the video here, they'll be pictured here, and there'll be clickable timestamps in the description box below this video. Now, this feature only works on YouTube, so those on Rumble, sorry it won't work for you, but you can always drag the playhead forward if you're looking for a particular segment of the video. So without further ado, I've got to start this week with hoist the colors, the Raiders win, the Raiders win. Thank little baby Jesus. That victory is certainly appreciated. 2022 NFL Week 7 pick results are as follows: 10 wins, 4 losses. As you can see, I already hollered about the Cardinals win and of course the Raiders win. I'm having a hard time reconciling the Patriots losing to the Bears on Monday Night Football, of all things. But, you know, I thought the Chiefs and 49ers played a great game, and but the Chiefs came out on the right side of it, even though the 49ers got Christian McCaffrey. So, good for them. Another good week picking, 10 wins, 4 losses. NFL Week 8 schedule starts Thursday, October 27th. Baltimore heads to Tampa Bay, and Tampa Bay seems like they've been reeling lately. I don't know what's going on with them. So I'm going to take the Baltimore Ravens on the road to defeat Tom Brady and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Starting Sunday, October 30th, schedule is Denver at Jacksonville. And Denver seems to be a pile of trash, and Jacksonville loses every time I pick them. Something's got to give here, so I'm going to take Jacksonville at home to defeat the Denver Broncos. Next game, Carolina at the Atlanta Falcons. This is an NFC South matchup. As you can see, my new color combination here for my selection bracket has changed for these interdivisional matchups. And I'm going to take the Atlanta Falcons at home to defeat the Carolina Panthers. Although I will say that Carolina seems to be playing better since Matt Rule got fired, so there's always that. But I'll take Atlanta at home. Next game, Chicago at Dallas. I don't know that Chicago can pull that magic trick 2 weeks in a row against what I consider a decent Dallas Cowboys team. So I will take the Dallas Cowboys at home to defeat the Chicago Bears. Next game, Miami Dolphins visiting the Detroit Lions. Now that Tua is back, Miami seems to be playing better, so I will take the Miami Dolphins on the road to defeat the Detroit Lions. Next game, Arizona Cardinals visit the Minnesota Vikings. And I got to say, in my previous video, I kind of really chewed the Arizona Cardinals a new ass. My faith is somewhat restored after watching them play against the New Orleans Saints, but I'm not necessarily sold on them yet. I'll still need to see more, but I'm going to rise up with the Red Sea and pick the Arizona Cardinals on the road to defeat the Minnesota Vikings. Next game, Las Vegas Raiders at New Orleans Saints. And of course, I'm ride or die, silver and black for life. I will take the Raiders on the road to defeat the New Orleans Saints. Next game, New England Patriots at the New York Jets, and this is starting to become a tendency for me that I keep picking the Jets. New England is reeling after that loss at home against the Bears on Monday Night Football, and this is an interdivisional matchup. The Jets need to win this game if they hope to compete for a playoff spot, and I really believe that Robert Saleh's got them believing and got them playing well. So I will take the Jets at home to defeat the New England Patriots. Next game, Pittsburgh at Philadelphia, the Battle of Pennsylvania, as it were. This is a down year for the Pittsburgh Steelers and a high-flying year for the Philadelphia Eagles. I will take Jalen Hurts and the Philadelphia Eagles at home to defeat the Pittsburgh Steelers. Next game, AFC South. Tennessee Titans head to Houston to take on the Texans, and I will take the Tennessee Titans on the road to defeat the Houston Texans. Next game, Washington Commanders at Indianapolis Colts. This is a weird, hard pick for me. I believe Carson Wentz is still out, but Matt Ryan just got benched in favor of some other dude. So I'm going to take the Washington Commanders on the road to defeat the Indianapolis Colts. Next game, San Francisco 49ers at Los Angeles Rams. This is an NFC West clash, and this has playoff implications for sure. I think the 49ers are a more complete team, or they seem to be playing better this year. Whatever the case, the Rams seem to be suffering a Super Bowl hangover, so I will take the 49ers on the road to defeat the Los Angeles Rams. Next game, New York, they are Giants in the NFC East rather. Head to Seattle to take on the Seahawks. And I'm going to roll with the Giants in this one. I'm going to take the New York Giants on the road to defeat the Seattle Seahawks and the 12th man. Next game, Green Bay at Buffalo. This game probably looked a lot more appealing at the start of the season because we thought Green Bay would be much more competitive than what they are. They've had some tough luck, but they are losing these close games when in the past they may have won them. I don't think that's going to help them going up to Buffalo. So I will take the Buffalo Bills at home to defeat Aaron Rodgers, or Ron Rodgers, and the Green Bay Packers. And then finally, on Halloween, Cincinnati heads to Cleveland in the Battle of Ohio, and subsequently an AFC North matchup. And Cleveland is another one of those teams that keeps losing close games. You know, they have a backup quarterback in, but he's played pretty well, but yet they keep losing. And I got to say, I don't expect them to win this one either. So I'm taking Joe Burrow and the Cincinnati Bengals on the road to defeat the Cleveland Browns. And as you can see here, both the Kansas City Chiefs and Los Angeles Chargers, or AFC West teams, have byes this week. Okay, so now I want to talk a little UFC 280 review. The fight did not really go the way I wanted it to. The main event fight between Charles Oliveira and Islam Makhachev. But deep down inside, you know, it kind of transpired the way that I figured it would. Makhachev almost seems like he's even more lethal, more of a stud than even Khabib was. And we all know that Khabib was just a mauler. So this is something that going forward, you know, it's going to take a hell of an effort for somebody to beat that guy. That's all I can say about that. And I'm really looking forward to this idea of Volkanovski taking on Makhachev. I think it'll be an interesting fight, but I don't necessarily know that the result will be any different, because the reality is that he just beat somebody on the ground who's probably as seasoned a BJJ guy as there is. So if somebody's going to beat Makhachev, they're going to have to be probably as seasoned as he is at wrestling, and I just don't even know if that's possible. I also want to talk about the Aljamain Sterling and TJ Dillashaw fight, which the result, you know, I know that my picks, by the way, I was 3 wins and 7 losses, so I should probably just stick to picking football games, but it's just fun to do, and it, you know, it's a time capsule of what was going on at this time in our lives nonetheless. So the other thing, though, that I want to kind of interject here is saying that I learned a lot. There seems to be more interest in my UFC videos than there are in my NFL videos. So moving forward, I may continue to do this, may continue to do UFC videos specifically, or I should say MMA videos specifically, because there seems to be more interest in those videos than my NFL videos. But getting back to Aljamain Sterling and TJ Dillashaw, I was disappointed in it because we didn't get to see the best TJ Dillashaw, because here, come to find out, he'd been injured in training camp and didn't say anything about it. Came to the fight with his shoulder popping in and out, which sounds absolutely disgusting and extremely painful. But you know, he robbed somebody else of the opportunity to fight Aljamain Sterling, a healthy somebody else, whoever that was. So I'm a little bit disappointed in that. As a fan, I feel like I should have my pay-per-view discounted because one of the fighters was hurt and I didn't get to see the best possible fight, which I paid for. You understand what I'm saying? And then Sean O'Malley winning against Peter Yan, split decision, tough decision. I think O'Malley was pretty lucky to get that victory. I'm not necessarily sure that I saw the fight the same way as those judges did. But anyway, O'Malley won, and congrats to him. And Beneil Dariush, man, that was a great fight. You know, Gamrot, he looked like he was big, and he looked like he was getting tired by the end of that fight. And that's often what you see. If you see guys who are big, muscular, bulky guys go in there, and they, you know, from the outside looking in, appearance-wise, they look like they're ready to stomp a mud hole in somebody's ass. But those guys going up against somebody who may be a little less intimidating physically looking at them, those guys may have better cardio when they don't carry around all that muscle. You understand what I'm saying? So they're not necessarily getting as tired or getting zapped as quickly as those guys who are super buff are. So it's just something to think about. And then the main event ladies fight there that started the pay-per-view, Caitlin Chookagian losing to a unanimous decision. You know, it's tough, but we all know that those things happen, right? All right, before I go, I want to wish everyone out there a very happy and safe Halloween. Please pass out candy to the kids because you know how much they love it and how much their parents hate it because you know it's going to cause those dental problems. I also want to remind everybody, and consider this a public service announcement, to get out there and make your voice heard. Please vote in the midterm elections coming up here in November or before that. If you haven't already cast your ballot, please do so. I'm not a fool. I don't believe that our democracy is at stake, but I believe there are some idiots that got voted in, and we are suffering the consequences of that. So please do your part, cast your vote for logical policies. All right, that's going to do it for this episode of the Callous Mind Talking Head Sportscast. I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. If you did, please don't forget to comment, like, share, subscribe, all that fun stuff. And until next time, please, please, please be good to yourselves and each other, and I'll talk to you next week. God bless.